from the bottom of my heart for being on this trip. I know a lot of you guys are very in and out about going, even to the last minute, even myself. Was like, did I really put this together? Because I was nervous and scared and hoping that everything went well and perfect and all of that. And it has. And it's been a blessing. So let's ask, or now we ask, if we're going to do circle time, because we did circle time for Thanksgiving, and it was a really beautiful experience. What started off as just us introducing ourselves and going around in a circle, it became more of a conversation and really opening up and sharing. And you guys know I love to do stuff like that because I do it on Clubhouse. So I'm like, I pour so much of myself to people that I don't know. Every morning, 6 to 7 o'clock or 6 to 9 o'clock, Monday through Friday, I want to do that with my crew. Because as I grow, I want everybody to grow. Learn, open up their heart, grow their business, change their lives, manifest it. So I'll get started with me. You guys all know who I am, what I do, my babies, my dad. But I'm grateful to be where I am. I'm grateful that Kelvin looks so tired.
Whoa. Whoa.
The first several times he was doing the same thing.
I feel blessed that God uses me to do everything that I do, to bless others the way that I bless them, to speak into their lives the way I speak into their lives. So I pray that today is also another session of where we can pour into each other. I pray that this trip, everybody walks away with an aha moment. That something hits them, something is said, something is seen, and they're like, wow, I could work on this, or I've grown from this. That's the experience that I pray that each and every one of you go away with. So who would like to know? We're going to go in a circle. Everybody introduce themselves and say what you do, how you got started, how you got connected. So we'll start with Kenta.
So what are the questions that I have to answer?
Just talk about yourself and how we got connected.
Okay. So my name is Kenda. I'm the communications manager. Say what I do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, communications manager. So the email blast, comments, DMs, and any other copy that's needed. And I got connected with Donata through my first person that I ever worked for. I don't even know how. I think
I loved the work you did for her, so I reached out to you. And I was asking you, can you work with me? And I was like, I don't have the budget that you may ask for, but I really want to get somebody on my team to start with my social media.
Yeah, and so then we came in and we did a barter, and so I got half products and I got half of like what my fee was, and then we separated because you weren't like ready to like go and do that, and then but you wrote me a crazy review, like the best review that I got to date.
I thought that's the one that was on your website.
That was the second one. The first one, like, oh my goodness, it was crazy. But to this day, I get referrals, and that was like way back in the day. So thank you. And the thing I love most about Donata, which is very, very important, is she is not afraid to put people on. Like, you're not afraid to like market or like tell other people about the people who help you. And like, I just think that's so amazing because in the industry, like, you just keep that stuff, you keep those people hidden, and you like illuminate us all in different ways. And that's what I appreciate about you. And I mimic that in my business because I want people to feel that way too.
So anything that's written is not my voice. What I love about her, and this is where you guys already know, I pray all of y'all were specially handpicked by God for me. Because I prayed for each and every one of you. Like, seriously, I need help in this, boom. I need help in that, boom. I need an assistant that I can dump everything on and not have to worry about, boom. I need a marketing strategist. I prayed for 3 months. God sent her. We went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I almost lost her. And then she came back and I was like, you know, with her, I was like, because if you guys don't know, like the newer team doesn't know, the old school people came on and they worked for 2 to 3 months for free. Like I could not afford to pay them. They were interns Okay? So I was like, listen, I can't afford to pay you. Just trust me. And I like want to cry right now to see your own business and your own team. I said, Alicia, please, just trust me. I don't have the money right now. By the end of the year, I'll do something, but trust me. And I don't know how many companies she has under her name right now. So every one of you, there's not one person. Oh, so special.
That was amazing. I want you to know this.
Right?
Let me get a picture. Somebody get a picture. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys for having faith in me too. All of you that I couldn't pay at the beginning, and it was just like you believed in me. You believed in me, and look where we are now. And this is just the beginning, like,
Yeah.
oh my God. So okay, I'll shut up. Next person.
Tomorrow.
Say your name, what you do in the company. We know how you got started. You went to the beans.
Wait, I want to know what the beans was. I watched that video way too many times and didn't understand.
We'll do that off camera.
I'm not mad at you.
My name is Lamar, and my name is Lamar M. Schomburg, and
What you do?
what I do is to be honest, hang around.
DeMar
But
feels
I
that he
put-
paid his. Go ahead.
But I put like labels on the boxes and stuff.
You do more than that, Demar. Come on.
Yeah, man, come on.
And I used to make soap into my jacket.
And
Walk around. And
you help with labeling of the shipments.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, she probably thought you meant products.
Yeah.
I just
So you
probably
do that
yeah.
too.
Just say you LeBron at this point. Like, you do it all, bro. I mean,
Even though I'm not managed as a manager, it's because the only reason why I'm not a manager is because I'm hired as a manager.
okay then.
I'm CEO to be honest.
Okay then.
Listen, when he, so he was the first child that was there with me really from the beginning. The girls hate to hear that story, but I have proof. Ariana hates it.
I don't care.
But now I don't care. But you do hate it. He was there from the beginning. Very excited. I think you guys seen the video on YouTube. Him cutting soaps and him talking about he's going to be the manager. So DeMar mentally has checked out sometimes from the business because he feel like he put his time in at the beginning. So I'm trying to reel him in so he understands that he could truly manage a team his age because he knows everything in the business. He knows how to make products. He knows how to label. He knows how to package. So he doesn't know the administrative stuff, but the hands-on stuff, he actually even knows more than girls because he knows how to make products. So at some point, I'm praying that he just like, let me get this serious, and he could build out his own team. And he's a leader by nature, so I could see it happening. So all of this. All right, thank you, TC. How you got started, TC?
Well, I was living in California. Came to Miami just to chill and needed something to do. And Dana is my wife. That's Donata's cousin. And she just said, "Hey, come work here. Get out of the house. There's something to do." And from there, it's just been here almost 2 years now.
Yeah, about a year.
Almost 2 years.
Almost a year.
Almost 2 years.
For 2 years, I mean for 5 years.
Yes, and see, what TC started as he was supposed to just come in when he wanted to. Now he's on a full-time schedule, making products and making sure shipping and receiving manager, making sure all the packages come through, inventory and all. You always thought Lex was what? Huh? Was gonna quit?
You thought Dolly was gonna quit?
Huh?
Lex, you wanna go?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because I just realized I skipped the two of you.
Oh my God.
Here we go.
Hey, chill. I'm gonna get this short, y'all. Leave me alone.
Drink in hand.
I'm late. But from now on, I like y'all to call me my first name, Dolly, N-L-E-Y.
Okay.
You're gonna make it.
It's a new beginning for me, alright?
Take it back. You would like like us to call you?
Naldi.
Yeah.
For real though, like
Man, your name's still
NLDY, yeah.
set in motion.
That's a
That's
good
okay.
Yeah, well, I first
not
name.
coming.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's gonna be hard. Next, it's like
It's a downgrade.
the bad version of me or the negative version.
Downgrade.
So,
Speak your talk, brother.
yeah, so you can choose. I like to go back to who I am originally.
No,
You know,
The king that you are.
and then oh yeah, go stay. That king.
That's your real name?
That's his real name. Tell them the meaning of your name.
Oh, the meaning of my name is like I'm like diplomatic. I get along with everybody. I make people happy, and
That sounds pretty
And you stand in your name.
yeah, oh yeah. My name is unique, just as I am. That's why I have to go back to my name.
How you got started?
Well, I know Donna for like 17 years because I first met her after Domar was born, and then when they asked me to come to work, I'm like, you know what? I believe in her, and then I'm gonna give her 100%, and that's just things been on.
Right.
Alright, I'm gonna keep it short, and y'all have a good night. Enjoy the food.
Hey
Ma, let me get
everybody, I'm Ariana. You gotta say how you got started.
She came on and what she wanted to.
Yeah, because Ariana started before me, so go tell your story.
I think it happened one time. I had a wedding thing to do, and I really needed help. Let me listen. This one right here.
What?
I knew she was a manager from the beginning. This is the time where I didn't have Saika, I didn't have a team. I was doing everything by myself, right? So I had a friend that said, I need you to do a wedding for me. Less than a week. I have 150 guests, and I need you to do favors. So you know the hyper person, impulsive, yes, I'm gonna do it. And then last minute, I'm like, what the fuck did I say? So I'm grabbing my kids. Ariana, help me. Deanna, help me. Demar, help me. This one says, so when did they place their order? I said, less than a week ago. Well, did you charge a rush fee? I said, no. She said, well, I'm not helping you. And I was like, she didn't help me. She really did not know.
We not even getting paid for them.
You a green bean. I figured it out.
Yeah. So she was like, you need to learn your lesson. You need to, if they're going to do
That's how she raised me though.
This is 2013, so that's 8 years ago. How old are you, Deanna? 14, 15 years old.
I don't play. I had track.
Listen, so I had Ariana, that's when Ariana started helping me. I had a cousin from Tampa, she was in town for like a day or two. She went in and started helping me, Erica, and thank God we were able to get the stuff done. But yeah, but it helped because it's like, number one, what is my time period? I really realistically can't do a wedding in less than a week. Two, I do need to charge a rush fee, so she's helped me a lot in just the thinking aspect. So who's next? We have Ariana. Dad.
Okay.
Boxman.
You do a great job, sir.
Dad, how did you get started? Because I don't remember when you actually started working.
I started when you were born. That's correct.
When did you start at the warehouse? When did you start?
If I didn't have her, you wouldn't be here.
None of us really.
Facts.
My stop.
Shout out to
Started
you.
with him,
Now
okay?
I got
It
a
started
new
with
job.
him.
I'm a
Okay.
man now too.
Yeah.
None of us.
And let me tell you, not everybody can box. Not everybody can put tape on a box.
Come on now. When I went to California, on my back.
No, but the one next to you before you started. Listen. Yo,
It was a little hard at first. It was a little hard.
What was hard?
let me tell you. Let me tell you what was hard. What was hard? You fold and you tuck.
He did not tell.
This one is folded and not tucked, so the boxes are like this.
They was
Instead
bad.
of being straight, they were bad.
Yeah.
But you know what, Kelvin, you got your areas. Not all of them. Kelvin is like, I'm not the box man. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, so dad is really the box person, right? The boxes are low, pops is there to fill them up. So thank you, Dad. Leah?
What about your little brother back? What the
What's that noise?
Hey, yo, gang.
I do random shit now.
Wait,
And then that was a drum roll. That was a drum roll.
Alright, Leah.
Hey y'all, I'm Leila. I got started here because I'm a close family friend. I grew up with Nana and Didi and Umar. And when I started working here, I ended up going to Auntie Donna because I was saying how I'm ready to get out of my house. And I need a break from my parents. So, and are you hiring? And she was like, no, I'm just taking volunteers right now. I was like, shoot, you didn't even got to ask me twice. And then I started volunteering, then I just automatically became an employee. And I actually enjoyed myself being over there, and I just liked the environment. So I've just been there ever since. And then I became employee of the month, so.
exactly.
We did it once.
We started.
I know me and Susie. Hey, listen. There's a close talk between me and her.
But we decided as a company we didn't want to shine light on only one person, so it was supposed to be a thing where you pass around.
Exactly, but they
It's been
never
sitting
passed.
in the warehouse.
She kept it for 7 months and gave it to Ari for her birthday.
No, Ari gave it to Kiki and Susie. It's Kiki and Susie now.
Really have it?
Yes. How it got divided into two is wild.
What is it?
It's like a plaque.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, all signed it.
Next month is
Wait.
production.
Wait, it's
I think it
for
is.
you to have special parking privileges. But
Parking?
there are no special parking, so you just get the parking.
Like where?
Exactly. All right, Anik.
My name is Anik, and I met Donata at the farmer's market. I was a customer first, and I remember one time I went to, I think it was at the end of 2019, I stopped by to pick up my soap, and you're like, you know anybody? Because I'm hiring, whatever. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll start, whatever. So working at Donata was just therapy for me because I was trying to get away from my parents' house as well. I also have a full-time job. So after work, I would just go over there. It was very therapy for me, and I enjoy it. It's not even work. It doesn't even feel like work to me. Just it's just labeling, packaging, and then now I started just, pulling orders and also, putting all the packages together. So it's not work for me. I always tell her it's therapy and it's fun. So yeah, it feels like family. So yeah.
Listen, thank you. And I'm so happy to have night and weekend crew here and virtual, because I know y'all be looking at Instagram like they always have fun, like the daytime crew. So I'm really happy the outside warehouse crew, everybody's here. Yes. Swan?
Wow. I don't even know where to start. I met Donata through her brother-in-law, Bob. I knew him for years, we were really close. And when I met her, she started this business, and I was like, all right, I'll test the soaps. Okay, I'll model for the product.
Yeah, wow. I'm too sexy for this.
And then,
Exclusive content.
I'm saying no. I mean,
I know.
but you saw the old.
Every Father's Day we put you on.
See these damn pictures on me?
No, Obi is crying.
What do you need? What is going on?
We were talking about
But I'm in health and wellness, so I consult with Don on a constant basis about research and development, products, what's in this, what's in that, you know, how to word things and stuff like that. I write blogs, I do other marketing things, and we talk on a constant basis just to keep things up to date and, you know, making sure that the verbiage is correct and there's no inconsistencies and things like that. So I pretty much do a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So
you don't know the beginning. Or maybe you don't remember the beginning.
I don't remember.
Okay, so let me show you how God works. So you guys know I lost my job in 2013. And my manager was like, because I lost my job from people that are higher up, they did not like me. But my crew, my real manager loved me. She knows how I'm an asset to the job. Like anytime I took a day off, my customers are like, where's Donata? She doesn't need to be going on vacation, blah, blah, blah. So y'all know how I'm ADHD and off focus and all of this stuff. So Valentine's Day, I left my cash in the drawer because I had an event for a foundation. So I left, forgot my money. But 2 months prior, I remember sitting with my manager at lunch and said, Aaron, I had a dream that I got fired. It was like 2 months before I really got fired. And she's like, now we never talk about God or anything like that. Me and Aaron never talked. Like I didn't know what she was connected to, her higher power, anything like that. She was like, oh, that's weird, because to her, she's like, you ain't never getting fired. We love you. So I remember when Joaquin called me, he was like, Donata, I was not at work this day. Somebody found the cash. I can't even cover for you. But I knew that God wanted me to have faith to leave the job. But I'm a single mom with 3 kids at my dad's house. Like, how do I explain? Oh, Dad, I just quit my job. So I told God, I was like, you want me to leave, make something happen. Like, I can't just leave like that. So I got fired. And when he called me, he was like, darling, what are you going to do? You're a mom with 3 kids. I said, Joaquin, I got God. And he's like, but I got God. And I had such a peace over me. I think I'm the only person that ever got fired that smiled walking to the job like, yeah, where's my stuff? Okay. And they're like, I'm sorry. I'm like, and I walk out of there, I was like, okay, freak, what am I going to do? But I have such a peace, like I know God got me. So I went home, told them, I'm going to share some stuff that he doesn't even know. Went home, told them.
Don't say the bad thing.
I go home, I tell them, I tell my sister, everybody's devastated, like, you know, you were holding it down, you were helping so much, you have 3 kids, what are you going to do? Everybody around me is worried except me. That manager that I told her that I had the dream, she called me, she said, Donata, it was a Friday I got fired. She said, I want you to pray. And the key part she said is, I want you to listen. And whatever God tells you to do, call me on Monday and tell me. So I pray, God is like, specifically, do not get a 9 to 5. It sounds crazy. I'm gonna jump ahead 1 second. Somebody made me realize this year why he said do not get a 9 to 5. So I prayed, same thing. Don't get a 9 to 5. Don't get a 9 to 5. Don't get a 9 to 5. On Monday
Don't get on 95.
Yeah, 820 in the turnpike.
Right.
So that was actually really funny. So I called Aaron on Monday. I said, Aaron, I know this is going to sound crazy, but God told me don't get a 9 to 5. She said, okay, just remember, if you ever need a job, we got you. Because any of my customers would have hired me. So now I'm sitting there 10 months, no job. That whole time, 7 of those months I'm living at my sister's house with my dad, because now it's like, you're not helping me. I can't carry the whole, we got to sell the house. The house sold in 6 days, and we're like, what are we going to do? We all go to Lisa's house. Y'all know how my sister's is. Did you look for a job? Did you look? You could be doing this. You could be doing that. The whole time, I'm looking for a job. Never was looking for a job. I was literally waiting on God.
And she gave us many jobs.
I lied to them the whole time. Because how do you tell?
One time I was with Dad. Talk to your daughter. I'll find another job for her. In America. I said, Lisa, look. You talk to her.
Yeah, listen, my sister, because you know she could have connected me with everybody, but she doesn't realize I have my own connects, but that's not what God wanted. So I lied to them the whole 10 months. And then finally, I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, God. I mean, I went through depression. It was tough. You're collecting unemployment. I had my adrenal fatigue problem for 2 years during that time. So the kids, I gathered all my energy, send the kids to school. Dad goes to work and I crashed the whole day. To the point where I was like, oh, I'm going to 6 weeks of being depressed. This can't be happening. It popped out of it. So a whole bunch of up and down. It was not easy. So Twan and I share a lot. So he sent me, before this, I had a friend that said, why don't you sell essential oils? I was like, oh yeah, I go look it up, but it did nothing sparked. He sends me a picture of a candle. And I'm like, and he doesn't even realize what he's doing. He's like, oh, look what I'm burning. And I'm like, a candle? Hey, maybe I should make candle on the side, make a little bit of money, and then see what God wants me to do. So here I am, impulsive, don't know how to make one candle. Went and brought 50 pounds of wax. Went and brought all this stuff to make all these candles and didn't know how to make candles. So of course my ADHD got me completely distracted. I go online and I'm looking up how to make aromatherapy candles. So that's where that essential oil came in with the candle. And then I see a recipe for a lotion bar. And I'm like, shea butter, coconut oil, I got all this stuff at home. Let me make a lotion bar. So I make a lotion bar, and me, I like unique stuff. So I didn't really see that. So I'm like, oh, this is cool. So I make it, the kids are using it, they fall in love, never went back to Jergens.
I hate Jergens.
Yeah.
Even before your lotion.
Yeah, that's why you switch so easy without a problem, because usually you're the picky one. So they gave it to friends, the friends fall in love, they want to buy more and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, why should I make an expensive moisturizer and not have a cleanser to go with it? So I started researching soap and all of that. So that's why I said you didn't talk about the beginning, because it's that candle that sparked the whole.
So he's the founder of the Nada.
The reason we're all here right now.
He's the reason. You're the reason why we're here.
You're the spark.
Namaste. So thank you. You can't leave that out. Thank you. That's a very important piece. So thank you.
I met Donata through her brother-in-law, Bob. He never mentioned anything about Donata's name. He just said, hey, can you shoot for my sister-in-law for her first pop-up shop? I'm like, cool. So then I go into the pop-up shop. I'm like, who's Donata? I'm looking for her everywhere. Go to the back. Here she is. She introduced herself. And then she was like, you're a Bob's student, right? I'm like, yeah, I was, because she went to the first workshop. And then from there, we started to connect. What do I do? Of course, I'm a photographer, videographer. And then she was like, hey, I'm looking for a videographer for the longest. My daughter doesn't want to do it, so I need you. Here I am, because I used to do videography. I used to do videography in the past, but I kind of stopped because I wanted to focus more on photography. So I was like, no, let me back up. So then I was like, right now I'm currently going through a crisis on my job because I'm trying to leave like my 9 to 5, and I really want to focus on this like full time. And then she spoke like some we had our conversation, and I took that with me like the whole time, because I remember I did two videos with you. And I always kept that with me too. Like, even though I sent it to you, that's something I could keep for myself too. So then, mind you, I had a vacation like 2 weeks prior before me actually leaving. And I remember the following day I texted her, I was like, thank you for the confirmation that I need, because I think what you spoke to me was the sign that I need to leave my 9 to 5. So here I am, fast forward, I'm working with Donata. And she doesn't even notice too, I don't do videography for anyone, nobody. So she may be my only client. If not, then probably this is gonna prepare me for something in the future. She also said that too, because Bob started in the same path too, started shooting. You know where he's at right now. So this is the start off. I want to thank you. I want to take this opportunity.
I love that.
She's my first client. You never forget your first. I am a full-time photographer and videographer. and I'm here.
Yeah. And look, he's capturing everything from getting in the van, getting, you know, the whole ride. So that's really cool. So thank you, Vince.
No problem.
One thing I forgot to tell about my story. Remember how I said the whole 9 to 5? So there's a blogger that reached out to me. I don't know if you remember Alicia. She's the one that has the puffy hair. I needed a team to help me stay focused. She was like, wow, that's why you weren't supposed to. Because I was like, God told me not to get a 9 to 5, but I don't know why I didn't get a 9 to 12. I could have worked part-time. And then she was like, God didn't want you to get any job because even if you worked 9 to 12, you would have been distracted by his plans. So he didn't want you to get any job that was going to consume you and he wouldn't be able to use you for what you're doing now. So I was like, wow. So that was like but that brought the story together for me to see how he worked. Obi?
I'm Obi. I want to switch back to Obi Ajulu too, because I ain't gonna lie, I be forgetting my name's Obi Ajulu. So
what? Well, how do you say it?
Obi Ajulu.
It's really Obi Ajulu. Like,
Obi Ajulu.
Ajulu.
Yeah, it means I'm satisfied with what I have.
Obi Ajulu.
I've known D and Ari for like the longest. I've known D since elementary school, so that's pretty self-explanatory. But also Kelvin. So those two are like the real like reasons I work here. But as far as anything, I have a clothing brand on the side. So like when I first started, making clothes is hard. So like when I would get customers, Miss Nada would be like my highest paying customer, like every time, like every job. And it's like she'll also give me advice like on the side and like just little things like D will also tell me stuff that she's telling me. And it's just like, I don't know, like when I first started, it was just like something always saying like, this is a very nice lady. Like Kelvin would come sometimes, we get on the game, he's just like, the day he has at work, I'm like, damn, like, y'all working? Like, so it was just like, so that was just another thing, like maybe on the back end, but it's just like, I was also working a 9 to 5, and I was also at that point where I was just like, I would get up every day, and I'd be like, I'm tired. Like, I don't know, I'll get days, like, I'll go to sleep early, like, I'll wake up early, I'll make sure I have everything on schedule, and I'm still like, dang, like, why am I so tired? Like, and the clothing brand wasn't really, I don't know, it wasn't really making sense, but it was still just like, I'm not gonna quit. So, I quit my job, and I'm like, dang, I really do need a job. Like, I was just doing like, I don't know what I was doing, honestly. And something was like, and Kel was just like, if anything, I'll talk to Mr. Nada and see if they hire. And I'm like, all right, that's great, because it's like, that's something I can do, like, I can just come and go whenever, not really come and go, but come on my own time when I have enough time. So, from like, the first day I walked in, it's just like, I just seen the way she had her orders, I'm like, dang, that's smart. And like, it just, from that day, it was just, like, even the meeting, the introduction, she was like, if you have any questions, talk to me. Let me know, and I'm always willing to share. There's never no like hold on information with her. So it's just like from that first meeting and up until the first pop-up shop, I realized like Mr. Nada in this short period of time, like you really like changed my life if you didn't really know. Like even coming to work is just like such a safe safe place. It's just like dang like even I have a second job now. Like even alongside doing Mr. Nada's job, and it's really hard to like go back to just like this is. Like to working for somebody, it doesn't really feel like I work for you. So it's just really hard to like go back and do that. It's really hard. I mean, just wanted to go. Gee, like I don't even care, but it's like I know it's just temporary. So it's just like I'm just trying to thug it and really like use some of your words of advice that you always like you just give me on the side. Like even when you just don't even realize you're talking to us, like you just like give a lot of like just affirmation in every sense, like every sense. It makes no sense at all. Like, so, like I really want you. I don't know. I feel like I'm not really good at words, but I really want you to know, like you really have a strong presence, like a really strong presence.
That's dope.
Kelvin.
Ain't even.
I like that name. So, you know, I met Deanna in high school, and I was on, we said date Deanna. So I used to like see Miss Bernardo all the time, like not all the time where like I hear Deanna talk about her, or even like.
What she used to say, I can't stand my mom.
I never said that.
But I probably like really she started talking about your products, and I'm like, wow, okay, whatever. She's like, her mom makes some And I'm like, no, really, like,
To be genuine, yeah, facts. That's not like that.
I'm like, okay, like, you know, black on this. And I'm like, so then I'm thinking, and like, as I go on with Deanna through time, like, I started seeing Miss Donata, and I'm like, wait, this lady really making soap. I remember, like, I remember one time I came to her house, and I can't even remember why. And I was just sitting there helping her package, and I'm like, dang, like she really has a business, and like I'm just sitting here helping, and I'm like, bro, this is cool. You feel me? I'm like, this is cool. Like I like what she got going on, especially since I was always a person like I never wanted a 9 to 5, like, which like the show through like as I've known her. So even after high school, like maybe like 2 years later. Like, I'm still, like, acquainted with Deanna. We talking, and she like, oh, my mom got a, you know, I already know about the business. And, like, she said she got a factory now. So I'm like, factory? I'm thinking, like, damn, this lady done got out her kitchen. I'm like, bro, this possible. Like, I gotta see. So I'm like, and then let me tell you, at this time, like, I just got fired from my last job. Like,
why you get fired?
For something crazy, like, no, like, I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
So look, in my head, I'm thinking like, all right, cool. I ain't even trying to go to college. I done did a year in college. I'm lived on campus at Florida Memorial. And I'm like, you feel me? It's cool. Like, my grades ain't too bad, but like, my head not there. Like, you feel me? Like, my head just not there. So I'm like, you know, let me take some time off. Like, my people telling me, like, time off me, you never going back. So I keep that, like, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna run with that, because I'm gonna prove them wrong and stuff go bad. Like, I like a safe route too, so you know, I'm like, I use my mind and go to college if I really needed to. So I'm like, whatever, I'm taking this time off, I give me a good little job at Ross, you feel me? I'm the little loss prevention, I done came, because look, let me tell y'all, I done worked at Checkers, I done worked anywhere I could to make some money. I used to sell snacks and honey buns in school. So like anything to make cash, like I'm with it. You feel me? As long as my morals there, I ain't gotta feel like nobody overstepping me.
Yeah.
So boom, I give me a job at Ross. One day a lady come in there, I'm gonna cut it a little short. The lady spit on me. Like, cause basically like, let me tell y'all, she's stealing. So I'm telling her, I'm like, don't walk out. You feel me? We can't touch them. So
yeah,
you
like, can't touch them.
I'm like, don't walk out. You feel me? And she like, oh, who you think you is? Like, telling me what to do, blah, blah, blah. She cussing out one of my coworkers too. So she walked by, she was like, what, you think you a pretty boy? You gay. And she spit on me, like, on the leg. So I'm feeling like, dang, bro. So I push her. You feel me? Without even thinking. Bro, you don't even know, like, people done called the cops on me for pushing her. For real, bro, is it serious? So I'm like, dang, bro, all this on my life for what? Like, so what did I do to deserve it? So, and listen, I'm from a praying family. Like, I know that for sure. Like, my people in the church heavy. So they praying for me. They like, you feel me? You gonna get back right. You feel me? Just keep praying. So at this time, I'm out of work. So I'm head on doing whatever I need to do to get money. I ain't even thinking about no morals or nothing, you feel me? And let me tell you, like, along that path, you feel me? Like, I'm getting cash and stuff, and I'm just feeling like, dang, you feel me? Like, I don't even feel like this is who I am, you feel me? Like, I feel like I'm snaking people who I done been knew. Like, it's crazy. Like, y'all wouldn't even understand. So when she asked me that, I'm like, let me see what this factory hitting for. Cause like she got like I'm like the warehouse, the factory. I'm like, let me go. So you feel me? First day I get a job, and then I'm thinking too, like, if anything, she let me get an early shift, like 8 to 4. So I'm like, I can still work and then get back in the streets when I'm done. Like, you feel me? So I'm thinking like, I'm doing it for a while. Then I'm thinking like, dang, like this lady, she really be saying some stuff. I'm hearing stuff her daughter's saying. You feel me? My coworkers, and I'm like, bro, you feel me? Like, some of this stuff not even worth it. You feel me? Like, I got a good head. You feel me? I know what I want to do in my life. So I'm going on working. To the point where, like, I'm having talks with Mr. Nada, like, that it ain't even about Deanna. Like, so we talking. I'm like, bro, like, I'm better than this. And then she just get me to, like, opening up on, like, everything in my head. Like, it just be little events, like, you go to. I'm trying to think of something, like, bro, it just be so much. Like just little stuff she'll say or do or whatever. Like I was just saying, like, she walked past me on the table, pat me. She don't know if I'm having a bad day or not. That done help my day. You feel me? Like, so for real, like, I really get that feeling from her. So it's like, after a while, she asked me like, "You want to be a full time? Like, you want to really work here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, bro. Like, I ain't got nothing to lose." You feel me? Like, I'm thinking like I got so much potential. Like, why wouldn't I work here? You feel me? Like, and just get back to who I am. You feel me? And like, just through time, like even the Thanksgiving talk, like I open up to them about all this during then. You feel me? I'm telling them like, and like I learned after that day, I'm like, I don't really tell people nothing. Like all this time, like I just be keeping it to myself. Like like when we say I'm a thugget, like I ain't thinking too much on it. Like my problem is mine, your problem is yours. You feel me? We gonna go about our day, but it do feel good opening up sometimes. You feel me? And Mr. Nutter taught me that. Like I was really a headstrong person. Like I believe what I believe, and I don't what I don't. You feel me? So just know, like she has blessed me beyond like measure. You feel me? She taught me more about like my morals and my character. You feel me? And like and who I could be. So
I see your growth, family. I see your growth. Very good growth. I see your growth. You were at Checkers when I met you. I see your growth. Yes, he was at Checkers because he gave me some free fries. And I was there when we were packaging that thing. Yeah. So I can tell you, you're not the kid that I'm. That's a blessing. Thank you, Kelvin. Anissa.
Sorry, I'm a little bit emotional.
Yeah.
Don't cry. No, you can cry.
It's okay.
Let it out. Let it out. Oh no. No, that was touching. Yes. I'm Anissa.
Hello, Anissa.
How did I run into Donata? Actually, I'm from New York. I moved down here, and I was bored one weekend, and I just said, let me go to Yellow Green Farmers Market. Never been, but Googled and was like, oh, let's go. I have very sensitive skin. Extremely. The wind blows wrong. Shit happens. Like at that time, I wasn't using anything on my face other than aloe oil or vitamin E oil. Wasn't even using anything to cleanse my face because that's how sensitive it was. Walked past her booth, and something just told me just go there. And I said I have really sensitive skin, and she's like, well, try this. It's just a little small sample of spinach soap. That's it. Went home, 3 days later, I was like, oh shit. My face was glowing. I was like, oh snap. So the next Saturday, I went back and I started purchasing. And for months, that's all I was using. Down to my father started using her soap. And then following her on Instagram, seeing everything. And then I started like the first round of asking for like workers, I thought about it. But like I said, I just moved from New York. So I had just gotten a job. And I wanted to get stable, I wanted to get situated. Because while I felt her energy, I didn't want that to be my main source of income. Yeah. And then eventually, after a couple of months, I went through a slight depression where I realized I was just going to work, coming home on Friday evenings, and not leaving the house again until Monday mornings. It was bad. So I didn't really know many people. Well, I knew one person in Miami. So I said, you know, what can I do? And for something just, I don't know what happened. Something told me just reach out to her. I guess it was God talking because at the same time, that's when Saisha moved to DC. Oh. And she needed help at the market. She told me, she's like, well, can you come? You know, we can try it out. So the first like month or two, it was just me going to the market working for her, not paid or anything like that, which didn't bother me because I had my 9 to 5. And it just felt real. It felt like vibrant. It felt like I was actually doing something. And that just continued every single weekend, diligently. Like I felt like me going there, people would think like, oh, you standing in front of people, you gotta talk all the time. It's gonna be stressful. When I got to the market, it was therapy. It was like, I felt like at ease. I felt comfortable. People were engaging. It was hilarious because people were funny. But at the same time, it was the energy of the entire company, the entire organization. Eventually, I started coming in. I don't think I ever told you. I started coming to the warehouse because I realized I was selling her products, but I didn't know how everything was made. And I felt as though I needed to be on that end to really be able to push things. So at this time, I actually didn't have a car. I got in a car accident right before all this, and my car was totaled. I would take a bus from work to the warehouse.
You gotta say
I was just about to say, where did you work?
Oh, sorry. UM, downtown.
Wow.
No,
Coral Gables.
Yeah, that's Coral Gables.
Wow.
Yeah.
Coral Gables to the Yellow Green Market?
Yeah. No, not to the Yellow Green Market. I would take
To the warehouse?
to the warehouse. During the weekends, I would take an Uber to the market.
From Coral Gables?
No, from Aventura. So I would go to the warehouse probably twice a week, and I would do obviously every single weekend. And it just didn't feel like work. It didn't feel like work, and it was easy. It was so easy, and she'll kill me if I say this part. So,
go ahead and kill me.
So January comes, and she started this manifestation room, and one of these days in the manifestation room, I accidentally said that I wanted to do event coordination. Right. And so with that, I don't even know what happened, but it went from me just working because I forgot, COVID happened, so everything got shut down. The Yellow Green Market was closed. We were just shipping out things from the warehouse, so we would go to the warehouse and help out during that time, but that's it. And then the manifestation room started, and it actually started happening hand in hand. Once I started, that's when we started deciding to do pop-ups. And then I decided, I was like, okay, I can do the pop-ups. And then I realized that I was the main person doing the pop-ups because Denana didn't want to do pop-ups. Right. And then once she knew that this is what I liked, I don't know when the switch happened. I don't know if it was her birthday. I don't know if it was before her birthday. But next thing you know, I got an email saying I was an event coordinator. I was like, oh, wait, huh? Literally, no one called me. I got an email from Saika. You are the event coordinator. Please sign. I was like, I returned it. I was so happy. I was like, I don't even know how much. I didn't even know how much I got paid. I didn't care. I was like, okay, let's do this. And then the main thing was her birthday. I believe it was Ariana.
It was Ariana.
Yeah, reached out to me and they wanted to do something special for her mother for her birthday. And that was like the most amazing feeling. And it wasn't a long period of time. I think it was like 2 weeks.
Probably.
And I did it, and
it was beautiful.
It was. No cap.
Beautiful.
And then something happened at that time. Her sister decided that she wanted to renew her vows, and at that time, I don't think we all knew when the date happened.
No, it wasn't. We didn't. It was literally just at the table. We're like, let's do it.
We're like, first we said yes before we knew the date. Then when she told us the date, we were like, wait, what?
It was like 2 weeks after.
Yeah, it was 10 days.
10
days. 2 weeks. So needless to say, I didn't have a life for the next 10 days. And I did that. And from there, I started my website, I started my business, and here we are now. I'm the event coordinator.
It's just the beginning for Anissa.
Yes.
It's just the beginning. Thank you. Like, it's crazy how some people love, like Kelvin, Anissa, Anik, they love the farmers market.
Yeah, I would say that too. That was like a big eye opener too. Like, you just realize like it's a lot of different people in the world. You feel me? Like, everybody has their own place in life, and just seeing all those different like ethnicities and how everybody's so like friendly, it do open your eyes. Though.
Yeah. So like the fact that they enjoy the farmers market and I dread it is just like, let everybody work in where they love to be. That I'm big on that. You love it? Oh, somebody told me today, Mr. Nada, I don't like this. I want to do this. Oh, let's switch it. Whatever they gotta look like, let's switch it because you're always gonna give more in what you like. You're gonna say something.
Yeah. I will also say, working for Donata is not like working. And I always say this all the time. I always forget to clock in. The entire day goes, and I'm like, oh wait.
Like, yeah, I'm with my mom.
I forget because it doesn't feel like working. It just feels like you're coming with family and hanging out and doing working. And it's just, I guess all of us just graciously have a good work ethic, so we want to do our best just naturally.
Yeah.
Not because it's been constructed to us, it's because this is what we want to do.
Yeah. And when Anissa came to the warehouse, it was Anissa and another girl. You remember it? It was her and another girl that came at the same time. I'd never seen Anissa. Everybody, my mom was like, oh yeah, Anissa's good. And I'd always see the other girl, and I'd kind of talk to her, but I was like, she's cool, but you know, mom always talking about Anissa, and I never saw her. I was like, who is, everybody was talking about her, Ariana was talking about her. I was like, I guess I'll meet her one day. Okay. And then I did, she's great. So.
That's funny because it went a while where there was just names thrown around, but there were no names with faces.
Right,
who is that? Who are you?
I know.
Like when Anissa met me, she was like, Antoine. I was like, hi. Yeah, exactly. I was like, yeah, oh, that's you. I was like, yeah.
Saika.
And she used to always fuss about the lemongrass body butter. It's his wife.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So she always fuss about the lemongrass body butter, like raving about it, and she would tag you. And then when I found your page and I discovered you were Haitian, I figured I would order some products. And at the time you were on Etsy. I don't remember what products I ordered, but I know I ordered the scar butter with something else. Loved the scar butter, reached out through Etsy and said, hey, just sell this in a bigger container. And then you
you were one of those customers.
And then you like, yeah, I sell it for $40, and I was like, I'll take it. And so I started using the products when Donata posted something about she needed help or something. And then I started, but it wasn't a paid position. She just like, I need help with something. An intern. There we go. And I was like, I'll help. And then I don't remember what I was doing, but I think I was looking up stuff.
Yeah, you were like my assistant, virtual, well, not virtual assistant. You were my, virtual assistant. I did little things here. That's how you got started.
Yes. And then she was like, she needed extra help at the farmer's market. So at the time I was like, I'll take it. When I finally started working at the farmer's market, and then she offered me full time. It was me and Jessica. And that's why I was like, did you mix me and Anissa with Jessica? Because I came in with Jessica.
Did you? I think it was,
no, it was Jessica.
Well, I came in with another Jessica. So then I started working in place of Stephanie. And I was at that farmer's market almost every other weekend I was alternating. And that's really how it started. I really like the farmer's market. Donata, you may not know, but several people tried to steal me to work for them.
But which
they tried.
They be trying.
But I was
they come to you and they be like, oh, do you know someone?
Yes, but the farmer's market was a vibe, and it really did carry me through that very low season. Like, the money I made got me my gas money, it got me food, it got me several essentials, in addition to what I was working. It got me Skinfood. So then that was about a year, and then Washington, D.C. opportunity came, and for many of you who may not know, Donata did try to get me to stay.
Y'all did. We didn't think we would make it without you.
Oh my God. And I was just like, no, y'all got this. Like, she legit was like, what's your number? And I'm just like, this is the number I'm looking for. She was like, I bet. Like, I was like, Donata, no. I got it. So I did eventually leave, but even throughout that time, it's crazy to see how where I started and where I am now, right? I would have never imagined working at the farmer's market, doing all that stuff. I was like, to be here in this position now. And even though you guys see me in this position, what you guys don't know, in the background is a lot of scrambling. And I make a lot of mistakes, but Donata is very gracious towards me. So much so that I honestly don't believe I deserve the credit that she gives me as, like, what's it called? That's Saika. No. If y'all know this mistake, especially if I miss payroll, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Yes. I would literally like text her like, I'm so sorry, like, because it's a fumble. I fumble a lot, guys. I fumble the ball.
I got a few texts. Listen, I got a few texts at like on a Friday night at 12:01. I didn't get paid. What are you talking about? I can't text or call Saika at this time, and I'll call in the morning. Hey, what happened? And then it's like, okay, we'll figure it out.
There's a lot of family, and she's been very gracious. And I don't know what to say, to be honest. I really don't know what to say because, like everyone has shared in their different sentiments, it was so much more than the pay. It became so much more than the pay. Like even so much so that when I moved, I was like, you know, I'll stay on as a virtual assistant.
Yes, that's how much I wanted to keep her. I was like, we'll do virtual.
Yes.
You mind virtual? I did not want to lose Saika. Yeah.
And even through the remote position, and even working with you guys, like sending you the emails and whatnot, you don't know how much that feeds into me. And just like to hear all of your stories connected, it just speaks so much to just Donata and just her, like this sweet, I want to say it Creole, but like her spirit. Yes, like it's just so, the word I'm thinking right now is just full and warm and just like so, like, it just brings you together.
So essence.
The essence, yes. All of it, right? She's a whole vibe. And I don't know what to say. I feel like I don't have the words to adequately articulate it. But to say, you know, just thank you. You know, thank you for this opportunity to serve not only you, but all of these people. And yeah, that's all I can.
You didn't talk about your business.
My business. Oh my God. Yeah, that was one of the things.
That's a big thing. You don't have a 9 to 5 anymore.
I do not.
I forgot.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
That's
As y'all
good.
can tell, I try to remain very
Humble, a little too. No, but you got to share your story. That is huge, Saika.
That's a huge story.
You just talked about how you had to work 4 jobs.
Right. It is, and when I think about it, it's a very whoa story, and sometimes I don't know what it is that's in me that's not like clicking to be like, yo, Saika. You know,
That's some real shit.
Yeah, that's some real thing.
Yeah.
But that's just, you know, internally there's a work that's still being done.
Mm.
But I say all of this to say, you know, thank you all, and yeah,
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, Alicia?
Okay, you guys are all way better with your words than I am, so I'm going to try to knock on.
Tell us the numbers.
I'm way better with numbers. You want to know how the last blended soap dropped in? Okay. But I am Alicia. I am marketing strategist, and my story is I came to know about Donata from the tweet that Ariana posted. I was scrolling through. I was at home. I saw it. I was like, oh, my hair is thinning. That person just got their hair back. Let me save the tweet. Let me find her on Instagram. Let me follow it. And I moved from Michigan to Texas, and it was the first job I had. It was 9 to 5. I hated it. I was miserable. And we were sitting there in one of the training things, and I had already seen Donata's website. I had so many things to say about things that could be changed, done different, even the Instagram. And in that training, I kept thinking, oh, here's what I could put and send to them. Here's what I could do and put that in a deck and send to her. So I was like, let me just do it. Like, I'm not learning anything at this job. They gave me hangman word of the week, so I'm sitting there completely wasting my time. And I made the deck. It kept me going for those 2 weeks because similar to what Anissa was saying, I was going to work, coming home. I felt really, really tired. Same thing you were saying as well. So I made this deck and I sent it to my boyfriend. I was like, I did this. I feel really proud of it. And he was like, okay, now send it to her. And I was like, but they're not going to respond. And I remember seeing Donata, Saika, are you guys on the live going, okay, we're going to tell all these customers who order to send a fire emoji if they have a burning question or a like if they've got a like minor question. And I was like, this is really transparent. Like there's something very different in the way that Donata's telling her story. So I sent it. I got a response back from Saika.
And to chime in, can I chime in? Now this email, I want to tell you, is like at least 4 or 5 paragraphs. In addition to a deck.
Wow.
And I'm just like, whoa, you get what I'm saying? At first I was like, because we get a lot of emails from different people pitching, and like she had, what stood out to me was the time she took to articulate the customer journey. And for those of you, the customer journey from the time that they discover the brand to purchasing to this, to that, and I'm just like, oh, you know. Okay, you can.
Let me chime in on top of that.
Okay.
So this was a time period where I didn't take anybody's request at all. Like Saika would send them my way. I didn't even read the whole thing, and I'd be like, no, and I don't know why, but I say no a lot. So Saika would send all of them. I said no. Alicia's on. I don't even know why I looked at it for 2.5 seconds. I think the deck. I happened to open it, and I usually don't even open those things. And I opened. I was like, whoa, these graphics and these colors and. What hit me, I was like, if she took this much time to put this presentation together, and she doesn't even know if I'm going to see it,
Right.
how much of her heart she's going to pour when she's on my team. And what really grabbed me, I was like, oh, there's a customer journey? Like, there's a journey from going to Instagram to my website and where the gaps are and how we could grab them. And that was even the second part that grabbed me, not only just your graphics, because I'm anal. And the fact that I looked at your PDF, and I'm like, I like her mind and creativity. I love it. And then the whole journey, I'm like, oh yeah, I was like, yes, Saika, let's talk to her. So now, finish.
I start the conversation, and short version of it is I get the internship rescinded. So they offered the internship to me. I go back, I say, I don't think I can do this for free. And Saika was like, I'm sorry, it's not gonna work. I was crushed. I had people at my job saying, that's one company out of thousands that you could be reaching out to. Just go for the next one. And I was like, I can't. Like, this is the one. That deck was so seamless for me to make. It was so easy. I resonated with everything, every single message. So I was like, there is no other company that I wanted to be doing this with. So me and Saika got on a call, and I did not let her hang up. I kept asking her, are you sure there's nothing that I can do? And Saika was like, can I just be real with you for a second? You have to know what you want going in. Yeah. And I remembered exactly what you said. And I could not let her hang up. I was like, I can't. Like, are you sure there's nothing you can do? And then eventually hung up. I went to go pick up my dinner. I was crying in the car. I was like, that can't be the end of it. So I poured my heart out into an email, sent it to everyone, sent it to Kevin as well. And I was like, this is an opportunity that I would be extremely, extremely sad if I didn't get. I'm going to support your brand regardless, but I just want to be heard. And then Saika sent me the intern message. And
Alicia, let me tell you what's funny. We went back and forth twice. And this is when I was snappier. I'm not as snappy now. But I was like,
in my mind, I was like,
somebody need some water?
I mean, it's there, but it's just, you know.
Saika called me, and you guys were just like, have you ever dealt with anything like this before? And I was like, you have to. Do you see what she did?
Yeah.
Do you see like what she put into it? And I reiterated, you said so yourself that this was going to change. So we have to do it.
And then there was a point where I got mad. I was like, but I don't have the money, so forget it. Like, if she really wants to work with us, she has to understand.
Yeah.
And then you wrote that email, and I'm like, because I got mad to the point where I didn't even want to read it.
Yeah, you get a pen.
I thought it was a long shot. I was like, these are paragraphs. The first one was 4, this one was like 16.
Oh my God.
So when I read it, I was like, okay. And I told Saika,
So long story short, did the internship, came back, and
killed the internship, by the way. What was it, like 6-8 weeks?
Yeah.
Whole website redone.
Website redone. And you set me up. I quit my job a couple of months after that, and the rest was history.
And you have a team.
Yes.
After you visited them?
Yes, and I came and I saw you guys too. But truly echoing what everyone else said, the stuff that you say, we don't even realize what it does and how it impacts us, but it impacts us. Things you say like, just do it. The worst you're gonna do is get feedback on it, or no one else is your customer except your customer, and it doesn't matter if they're not your customer, they're not your customer. And I have that in my head with every single step that I'm taking, stuff that feels uncomfortable. I'm like, Donna got on live, she did it, she posted that, she made that happen. I'm gonna do it too. The worst I'm gonna get is feedback if it goes wrong. And I never got feedback like that in my life growing up. So you really, really, short version, changed my life, truly.
Real quick, just to let you know, I always tell when I've had exchanges with Alicia, I always tell her, like, I'm a huge fan. The way that she approaches the customer journey is how I approach clients in fitness. There's such a foundation to everything, and the way that she applies that, I'm always in awe of your work. Like, you do an awesome job. Like, amazing.
Thank you, Alicia.
Big time, big time.
Ja.
Last but not least.
I always have something to say, but like right now, I kind of.
Oh.
No, I'm gonna talk. I'm just saying, like, I'm having a moment where like,
She snapped out of it.
everybody just said something. It's kind of like, dang.
But that's our story, though.
That's our story.
Y'all got me feeling like I have a lot to say, but I'm gonna give you guys like sweet, short.
No, I want to hear this.
Yeah, that's your tune. That's your journey, man.
True. Okay. Miss Donato, listening prior to even us sharing having this little circle, prior to us even having this little circle here, not little circle, big circle. I always, sometimes at work, like I think you heard me telling my friend that I was like, girl, I work for a Haitian millionaire. Like, what you talking about? Like, sometimes I really have to, and everybody always asks me, you don't work, you always out of town. And I'm like, I don't know how I do it. I just do it. Like, when I tell them, even in Puerto Rico, your mint body butter that you gave me when I first started working here, after I had oatmeal, I was like, I'm not using that. I don't know why she gave me the mint. So I always kept the mint on my side. And I didn't have no oatmeal when I went to Puerto Rico, and I gave my friend, she loved it so she kept using it. I was like, you know what? You can have it. Before I left, I was like, you can have it. I'm just get more oatmeal when I get home. It doesn't matter anyway. So she's taking her body butter. She loves it, and I'm like, she don't say that. Like, I told her, I'm like, yeah. I told Didi. Didi was like, mint. We sell mint, and I was like, I told her, girl, like, I'm so sorry. She doesn't sell that anymore, but you can use oatmeal and spinach soap because she has eczema. So, but she loved the mint. I'm like, okay, whatever. And it's just like moments like that, or even listening to everybody say, it makes me stop and realize how much I admire you as a woman, because you're like, you're family to me, and I really feel that like in an important way, not from just from Didi, Ariana, Damar and stuff, but working for you is like I can see you in another light now. Like, it's not just what I hear, it's what I'm experiencing at work day to day, or even when I pop up at your house and you're like, oh, hey, and I'm like, hi. There's little moments like that, like once tonight, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, first face I see was tonight, I'm like, I got up, I'm like, who turned the light on? And I'm like, hey, it's not. Look, I really admire you as a person. I'm sure everyone feels this way deep down, maybe. Just to see how you're loved, you show love genuinely. I don't ever feel like you're just doing it just to do it. And I said sweet and short. Everybody knows the
you didn't even start your story yet. So you got
no, this is my story.
No, it is not.
No, this is my story.
Okay.
The admiration I have for her.
But you
Honestly, I forgot the question. Thank God y'all told me. I was not gonna say that. Didn't know me. Look, I ain't funny time in the day. Yeah, definitely admire you. Like, I love how people love you, and it's not like I'm jealous of it. It made me feel like, wow, like people really love this lady. She really loves people. She does stuff out of kindness of her heart, and she's constantly blessed. And my favorite thing is manifest that shit, and I just be like, manifest that shit. And I'm like, you know what? You remember at the beach, everybody's like, it's 7 o'clock, that's what you're doing. I'm like, yep, I'm here. And just little stuff like that. Those people came from and I said the same thing at the beach. These people came from all over the United States to see Mrs. Donata for their first time ever. They spent breakfast with her.
Before I went into surgery, they came
before.
to be with me. It was 7 women, it was 8 women that came to be with me before surgery. I don't remember.
But yeah, it's just little stuff like that. I want to let you know I always admire that of you. And my starting story, last summer, and this is also the longest job I ever had in my life.
But she got written out one time.
Oh, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I
I saw a video the other day with Kelvin packaging orders and Lex or myself making products, and I started laughing. I was like, "Yo, we used to do all that in one warehouse." Yo, you remember
No
in the
AC,
soap
no
room?
AC.
No AC. First of all, I'm a control freak. So the fact that I turned my back, went somewhere, and let y'all do the renovating, that was huge.
It was.
And then to come back and see the way you guys put the warehouse together, like I don't think you guys know how much that meant to me.
I want you to know, Kelvin came home that day and he said it here like, bro, she was in love, but she let us do everything we had to. And I'm like, bro, what? Like what?
I never did that. Like we were building shelves.
Gee,
and stuff.
like,
okay, I feel
just to
good.
let you know how impactful it was. Like,
Yeah.
we really came home and talked about it. Like,
It was Tuesday. And Saika thought it was Wednesday, thought she was about to miss payroll. And she's like, I gotta go do payroll. And then finally, like last second, she was like, oh, it's Tuesday.
Thank
you, Saika.
Because
I got
it
it
be me.
yesterday.
I had to call Saika
What's
twice.
that?
Saika, I forgot to clock in all
Saika.
last week. Please help me.
You know, I wanted to just say something. These two guys right here, they're the best.
oh, shout out to you, mom.
They really do love each other like they do. They do.
Even though they get on my nerves,
Yeah.
I really want to like.
But don't do that for us.
I be really like.
Okay, Devon, chill out, chill.
Hey, what you said?
Like that time at the basketball court, I was really about to flip you, boy. Like, oh god.
But you love them. What is wrong with you?
I just wanted to say that these guys, they really be rocking in the warehouse. Like, you guys are really good.
Okay.
What, you want me to say something about you too? I ain't gonna count now.
Don't do your
What I wanted to say about Janessa was that there was one time in Tampa where she came to my house because we went to college together. So she came to my apartment and she took a shower and I was like, Janessa, use my mom's soap. She used the soap. She was like, I'm dry. She was like, I do not like this soap. And I was sitting there like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to like it. I was like, maybe try to spin it. But now she loves it. I don't know. Maybe it was the time or maybe the
It was
now she spinach.
Okay. But it was just funny that that's how she started and then now she right. So me, I'm Deanna, obviously. Her daughter. I started when she blew up because I wasn't there when she got the first warehouse, the second or the third, because the first warehouse I was at college, and then I didn't really have to work there until she blew up, and I was like, well, we got to get these orders out. And that time was crazy, so unorganized. I was so stressed. That was bad. And then I moved into packaging, and then now I do customer service with Saika. So, yeah.
Yes, you forgot how happy I was because you started working in the business at the farmer's market. You're like, Mom, if I'm going to work for you, the only thing I want to do is the farmer's market.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll take anything.
Yeah, because the farmer's market, like everybody says, is a vibe. You just go out there, even as hot as it is, you go home and stay. But the farmer's market is a vibe. You get to talk to people, give out samples. So yeah, I started at the farmer's market and then the warehouse, and now online. So that's me.
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
Whatever, you said that's me. I said Dee Dee.
Wait, what about Dana?
No, Dana's going to go now.
That's me.
Oh.
I said Dee Dee.
Yes. Ryan.
Oh, me?
Yeah, we got everybody, right?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, you can be a
Well, I know Janata.
She could be a therapist.
Because of her pen and her pad.
That's what she does. She's a coach. You see, you know that.
Okay, so, oh goodness. How am I involved in Janata's
I can answer that question.
I am the one that keeps her together. She can keep y'all together. That's who I am. I keep her brain together and keep her mental. She's brutally honest with me. I'm brutally honest with her. She's transparent with me. She doesn't hide things from me because she knows I'm going to be honest with my response. So, like I said, all I can say is that I did point out that she was controlling. And she accepted it though. She received it. Now that is really tough.
That's huge.
It's really tough for people.
That, and I did not get it until one day I woke up and I was like, wow, I'm controlling it every aspect of my life.
And that's what
And
I
I'm
had
like,
to, she had to
even the
see.
warehouse? Oh my God. That's why when I come in and I do what I do, I remember like, okay, you have somebody in place to do it. You don't need to control the situation. Or if you feel you need to control the situation, talk to Kelvin and say, hey, what are we doing today? This is what we need to add on. So yeah, that was a big eye opener. And that was just this year.
Yes, it was. We've done a lot for each other in the last 6 months. Well, I was going to say the journey started last October is when, so I decided to be a life coach 3 years ago. I have to add the third year. I was in California. While I was in California, I would speak to Donata and another friend of mine. They were the only person that I would speak to, people that I would speak to. And I would always say, I want to be a life coach. I want to be a life coach, but I never pushed myself to do it. And so Donna would always ask me, so when are you going to do it? So, of course, COVID came, fast forward, came home, just working remotely. And one day we were having a conversation and she said, I don't know. But you was like, what are you waiting for? Like, take a course.
Deadline. I told her she had
Like,
to
and no, she was like, hang up right now. And she said, you have the money, right? I said, yeah, I got the money. And she was like, well, hang up right now and pay for it. And that's exactly what I did. So that is how I am here right now, helping her even more. But I've always been in her life, giving her little tips, pointers, or whatever. So I try to hold her together. So everything else.
She doesn't just help her. She helps the team as well. Individually.
Okay, I do.
She helped what?
The team individually.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone, yeah.
So here's another God moment. I feel for the last year I've been hiding my gift. Like in 2019, when I started manifesting, it was put in my heart to start listening to motivational videos. So I started listening to motivational videos.
I'm sorry, that just brought me to a very scary place where you get in the car from school and I have to listen to people talk about manifesting, and it was just so boring. And you could listen to music, you could listen to radio. It was just people talking every day.
No more recordings.
Oh my gosh, that was hard.
Bro, look at the road.
There's two sides to every story. Yeah, no.
Wow, yeah, I didn't even know.
Put it out there, man.
But yeah, God put in my heart to start listening to motivational videos and listening to them. And I'm an extremist, so I would like do it continuously. And I will never forget Les Brown. I'm standing in my room. Now my room, my whole house was a factory. I had a bed in my room, but surrounding my bed was the shipping station, all the salts. I mean, it was bad. I lived in my business.
Wait, can I tell y'all something? My mom doesn't cook. We all know that. One day I came home. There was a big, bucket. Not a bucket, but no, not a crock pot. It was just it was like a little bucket, whatever, on the counter. And I'm like, oh man, she made mashed potatoes? Bro, I went closer, it was scrubs. I'm like, I'm hungry. I'm so tired of this. I'm hungry, bro. I thought it was mashed potatoes.
My mom says when she cooks, it goes to waste. Only reason why it goes to waste because you don't know how to cook.
OMG.
Let me tell you. One time, I think she's talking to her friends, and her friends are talking about, yeah, when my mom cooked, this and that. And so she comes home, I don't know if she was talking to Ariana, and she was like, you know what? I just realized we're never gonna have those stories like my mom's cooking was this, my mom's cooking
down that.
And then that I just felt like a womp womp. I said, but what about your skin though?
Exactly.
Can they say
We
that
gonna
their
die
mom-
from starvation with this?
That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do. Your friend come, right? Oh, man, my mom makes some ball mashed potatoes and all that. All you gotta do is, so what'd you do today? Just go over the question because your mom know how to cook. You don't got no story to say.
And wait,
You need to change the subject.
wait, this is the last one. This is the last one. Ariana, did you remember Ariana?
What he just said.
There was this one day, we used to complain about being hungry so much.
Wow.
We used to complain about food. Like, what are we eating? And she felt like at that time we were old enough to do our own stuff. We were probably like 15, 16. Ooh. She got so mad at us for telling her that we were hungry and what we were going to eat. And she took away our phones. And I literally remember, I got like, what I know this. And then I got my what's the thing? My iPod, and I put on Snapchat. Yo, I was so mad. I got a bucket of ice and water, and that was like dinner for tonight. Yo, she was just, I'm like, why would you take our phones? Because we're trying to pour hungry. She yeah.
It's laughable now, though.
It's laughable now, but back then, it's like, what do you want to say?
Back in the days, we made mayonnaise sandwiches and syrup.
We used to really eat sleep, like go in the kitchen, look for stuff, knowing damn well there's nothing there. So what we do, we go to bed. I'm gonna eat that.
Listen, let me tell you something. I could cook, but my kids did not like my cooking.
Mom.
So it was like, what is the point? No, seriously, the time that I did cook, y'all like, oh, I don't like this.
No, I did eat it. I did eat it because there's nothing.
She will make anything and tell you to throw barbecue sauce on it. I don't want ketchup. That's not good.
Ketchup.
Like, I don't want that. We wanted food. Yeah.
Oh, they just
I'm sorry.
It's fine. I eat fine now.
Sounds like an intervention right now.
Traumatized you and not cook. I really apologize.
It's okay.
You too.
Did it go eat something? Did it look at me? Papa. Peanut butter and jelly?
Or mayonnaise sandwich.
Oh my God.
But she did make us lunch to go to school when she wasn't
with a note. Every day, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about the good. With a love note to school.
Oh.
So
in a brown paper bag.
And you know what? When I went to China for 2 weeks, I left a note for him to read every day because I was gonna miss his birthday. It doesn't matter. Peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut butter and jelly. No, you know why she started that? Because it was one day I was eating peanut butter and jelly, right? And I did not want it, so I threw it in the sink where there's dummy water at. Yo, you know this lady made me pick it up and forced me to eat that.
I believe that.
I was by Ariana. I'm eating it.
Donna, this is where you come in?
Are you serious? It was so
right?
Are you serious?
All right, he signed a non-disclosure, right?
Right?
Did I really do that?
Yeah.
No, seriously, for real. Like, you joke a lot.
But I can't believe. Oh, maybe a little bit of water. Submerging the water.
Bring it my thing.
Maybe I was trying to teach him a lesson. I don't know. But that I don't know.
Because she got really mad that she made something. I just threw it in the sink.
I probably would have been, yeah. Well, yeah.
But that's the Haitian.
Black out at that point.
Right. Don't waste
And
it.
then guess what? You didn't have to drink water after. I remember that time. But I'm joking.
I think I was saying
all right,
next Ariana.
back to manifest that shit. No. So I was listening to the Les Brown, and I was listening to the motivational videos, and Les Brown is talking about what is your gift? What is your gift? What is your gift? So I remember thinking to myself, my gift is speaking. And then the whole year, I started realizing, okay, I need to show up more in speaking. So last year, Alicia was like, you need to do your lives, you need to do your lives, you need to do. I'm like, yeah, I promise. Never did the lives. So when it came to 2021, I'm like, you know what? I need to show up and really start speaking. But I dread lives, because lives, you can't just be up there and no. You got to do your hair, you got to look decent. And sometimes I just want to talk. So Clubhouse came around, and I'm like, okay, that's going to be the platform that God uses me to use my gift in speaking. So I'm like, okay, God, and let me tell you, sometime in December, one night he was like, you are not going to bed without going on Clubhouse. And I remember it was 10:30 at night, and I'm like, I just want to go to sleep. And it was like, you cannot go to sleep without going on Clubhouse. That was my first time. So I opened the club room, maybe 3 or 4 people in the club room, and it was an amazing room. It was about weed. People were opening up, and they wanted to have a next session. And one of the people even sent me a DM of how happy she is. She felt led to be in a room because she needed the information. So I was like, okay, God, maybe that's why you wanted me to have the room tonight. So I was like, okay, I'm going to start a room in January. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but since I feel there needs to be a platform for me to start working in my gift, I will. So I'm thinking, and I was like, this is the time I was really deep into manifestation. Mind you, I did 2 years of manifestation. So many things happened in my life. The business grew to $1 million. I was on the second warehouse. Like a lot of stuff I had already manifested. So I'm like, why don't I start this room called Manifest That Shit? So I'm like, okay, we're going to do the room for 1 week. Started the manifestation, that room. So all I had planned was for me to start the room, do affirmations, and I'm going to teach everybody how to do the manifestation cards. Because so many people are like, Donata, what is it that you do with these cards? You know, I've been seeing how you've been blessed. I want to see how you do these cards. And I'm like, well, come on over to Clubhouse, because we're going to do the cards at the beginning of the year. So we do the cards, and a week is coming up, and I just feel led like you can't close the room yet. So I'm like, okay, we're going to do it for 14 days. 14 days come, everybody's like, no, you can't close the room. This room is so amazing, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, we're going to keep it for a month. We're going to keep it for 2 months. We're going to keep it for 3 months. But as we're doing the stuff, I started noticing that this wasn't just a manifestation room. Because a lot of people look at manifestation like, oh, I'm going to write these cards, I'm going to visualize, I'm going to speak, and shit is going to happen. But that's not how it works. Like I say in the Clubhouse, you got to release to receive. So I'm going through the room, and finally the end of February, I was like, I'm waking up at 5:30 in the morning, every morning. I'm doing this room 7 days a week. At this point, I never took a break. So that was 60 days of straight waking up every morning, pouring into people.
But guess what? Everybody kept joining us.
Everybody kept joining every day. Every day. So then I started realizing, okay, there's mornings I'll get on there, I don't know what to talk about. But God was just like, open the room, let everybody come on stage and manifest. Do the affirmations, and the room will start, takes its course. We talk about everything you can imagine in that room. So then there was a point where God is like, you need to keep this room open for 365 days. So through this work, this just reminds me, and this is where Dana comes into play with my business. Because you guys all do the orders and the packaging and making products. She's on the other end of working through the room. So while I'm working in this room, she decides to get her certificate at the end of December. Okay, at the end of October. Your revelation came in December. At the end of this, December, Dana decided to embrace her gift as a life coach. And just to show you and really remind you guys, it doesn't matter what you decide to do in life. If you take the leap of faith, the right people will come along. Yeah. So I never realized how deep this room would be. Because remember, me, I'm like, manifest that shit, da 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 da. She comes in this room, and we start going into topics that people are crying. Men are on the stage opening up their heart. Women are on the stage crying, like deep connections with dads, connections with moms, relationship with kids, past traumas. People that never open up, and it's so funny to hear you guys say that. People that never open up in their lives to their family, just pouring and opening up in the room. There was a point in the room I'm like, okay, God, this stuff is heavy. Like, I can't be like, we're talking about all this deep stuff. People in the room crying, and I'm like, oh, okay, see you guys tomorrow at 6 a.m. And then this is where she comes in. And then she starts working with them. So it was one of those, they open up their wounds, they open up their heart, wound, and open up their heart. And then at the end of the room, I'm like, well, you have a life coach that you can go to continue to work. So I share that story because there's probably many of you, or all of you, that knows there's something you need to do in your life, but you're like, but what does that look like? Like, how do I do it? And what I'm gonna say is take the first step. And that's what I'm really big at, pushing you guys to take the first step. Saika took the first step. Anissa took the first step. Alicia took the first step. Who else? Dana, both with the ice cream and the protein. Kenda was already in her business. That's what I was. Oh, you had not taken the first step?
I haven't taken that step.
But you were right now.
I know, but I'm not. I've been like hiding. Like I don't think I've taken the first step.
Okay, you've crawled. So now you're gonna take the first step.
Okay, can I say something? You took the first step by just acknowledging what you're saying.
You took the first step by coming here.
There we go.
You took the first step by talking to me.
There's no words to explain what goes on in there because nothing is planned. It's all unscripted. Like sometimes
that's the scary part.
Yeah, sometimes Denata be like, "Good morning." Somebody be like, "Oh, so the sun did this." That sun turns into the ocean, turns into the wind, and then we're like 3 hours in, like shit, we gotta work.
You got a life.
But we find out so much about ourselves through other people. You find out so much understanding of how other people operate in their thought process. I've learned a lot for myself. And it's been, what, 6 months?
6 months.
6 months? Yeah. 6 months. And there's so much more. Even when, because you're dealing with a lot of people. So even when we got a little annoying parts, we still stick it through because sometimes you find out 1 or 2 things or somebody else will chime in and make sense of it all. That it's about, for me, it's about writing it down every single day. It's about being accountable. It's about being consistent. Because a lot of us started off saying, "Oh, we need consistency."
Oh, that was my affirmation for the whole first one.
Exactly. And then next thing you know, look where we are. Most of us are not consistent. We 6 months in. We
7 months in.
Yep, diligent.
Going on 8.
All right, yeah, I got crust in my eye, but I'm still listening. Yeah, I have my book. Like I bring my journal everywhere I go. And it's just because I want it to be at my fingertips. And then meditation. Oh my word, meditation. Meditation is a part of me now. Like, I learned that when I get jittery, take a few moments back and take to myself. But I learned that from the room because I realized that if I don't start my day properly, it goes so weird. So I say this to everyone. If you can't wake up 6 o'clock in the morning, try. Try once a week, try twice a week.
But the cool thing is they don't even have to wake up. They just turn it on and fall back asleep and you'll catch what you need to catch.
And
that's happened.
Sometimes it go on for 3 hours, so you don't have to be up at 6. You can catch it at 7
Exactly.
I'm just being honest. And your message might be within that time frame.
And don't think you have to be engaged. Do you know how many people Zanata be getting to them? She be like, "Oh, hello, Susan? Susan? Susan be in the kitchen trying to get off mute."
That's crazy.
It's just, and it's real. It's just honest. These are people from all over the world that we've never met face to face.
Just about 8, only 8.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, and it's really, really, it holds yourself accountable. It also brings focus to those people who don't really know what you want to do, but you know it's something that you want to do, because you start writing, before you know, you're writing things that you didn't even think you thought before, and it starts coming together, and you start planning, and next thing you know, you're like, "Oh, this is what I want to do." And then one day you open up and you say it. Like just the other, a couple, right before we stopped for this break, someone came and spoke up for the first time who said she never cried before.
That room was so, guys, so listen, I never experienced, like I feel people, but to feel that lady through the phone, she said, I was already crying in the room over something. I was already emotional. And then she said, "I never cried," and I boo-hoo cried, and I said, "I'm crying for you." Like I didn't even think when I said it, and I just felt like her being in that room at that moment and opening her, because the power in the room is opening your mouth. There's something about opening your mouth on that stage that just turns your life around. So I cannot wait to see her journey. To hear somebody say they never, like they're so numb to everything in life that they don't cry, just touch me in a way I'm like, oh no, your life is going to change. Just because you came up. And she was vulnerable from day one. That was her first day in the room. And to come up on stage and open yourself to the magnitude that she did, she said she was ready. And if I'm not mistaken, she doesn't even know how she got to the room.
She didn't.
She doesn't know how she got to the room.
She's a sweetheart, but she was on mouse like you're like, Celine, we can't hear you. She was like, oh, okay. No, we still can't hear you. She didn't want to talk. She didn't want to express. She didn't know what she wanted to do. This child is holding health talks with us now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You met her?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You couldn't even hear her in the room. And to see she had that health talk.
And she came with the health talk, and she was like, I'm a little nervous. You couldn't tell. She had such conviction. She spoke clearly. She was engaging. It was like, that's why she must have thought we were being sarcastic. Like, you've been doing it. You've done this. Like, you've done this for years. It was amazing.
The cool thing is, and this is also something you guys have to remember, you're nervous. People don't see that. So the first week I went in the room, I literally was sweating. Like, I'm like, why am I sweating so much? But then I realized I was nervous because I was entering a territory I didn't know, and I had to rely on God. I could not plan what I was supposed to talk about. So here I am, woosah, deep breathing, affirmation. People are saying their affirmation. I'm like, okay, God, you didn't give me the message for the day yet. God, what am I supposed to talk about? And I get so scared and nervous. And then somebody would share an affirmation and say one thing. And I'm like, boom, that's what the room is supposed to be about. Or I'm sleeping and God is like, talk about this. And I'm like, some of the rooms are about tomorrow. And I'm like, why am I talking about tomorrow?
Not about you.
I'm like, no, I talk about the girls too. But I talk about tomorrow. And sometimes I open up so much. Sometimes I open up and share so much about him that as I'm talking, because my relationship with Demar was very rocky.
Y'all relationship has helped other people.
Yeah.
Who said that they had, your friend from Tampa, the lady from Tampa, Kim. She has built she has rebuilt her relationship with her son.
Also.
She has connected with this lady, has a son, and I've known her for 17, 18 years, and all I remember is her daughter. That's how much she doesn't talk about her son. So in sharing so much about Demar, she's not only connected with her son came home and spent time with her. And I'm like sitting there, I will never forget. There was one week I talked about Demar so much, I think by the third time that week, I'm sharing a story, and I'm like, why the freak am I still talking about Demar? Like, people in the room gotta be bored. But then I had to learn, like, if I'm saying it, somebody needs to hear it. And that's when she shared that, because of you sharing your story and your disconnection with Demar and how you guys are now, that helped me to connect with my son. And I talked about you because one time I was telling people in the room of how they need to connect with their kids and build a relationship. And I'm walking around the house, not paying attention that he's in the kitchen. Yeah, you don't understand. I'm standing, act like this is the counter, and I'm like, yeah, guys, so you need to pour into your kids, find out their love language, connect with them. It could be hard and build a good relationship. And Demar is in the fridge. He opened the door. He turned around, looked at me like, I know you're not telling these people all this stuff, and we don't have a good relationship. I looked at him and I'm like, his face. Yeah. You know that when your child gives you a face like I know you're not all of that. And that hurt me because he's still hurt over a bunch of stuff that I've done in the past. So what did I do? I was embarrassed about it. I didn't feel shame. I was like, guys, y'all should see Demar's face right now. He's looking at me this way, and this is what happened. And I shared. And not only that, I wanted him to see I'm not pretending to be somebody. I'm still learning how to be a better mom. And the thing is, with my kids, I don't remember if I was like that with my girls, and I think I was more like that with Demar. I think a lot of parents don't see their kids as humans. Meaning like, respect them. It's more like, you do this, you do that, you do this. I don't hear. I was that kind of mom. I probably wasn't like that with Didi or not too much. I don't know, you would have to tell me. But with him, because he gave me so much problems growing up as a child, when Demar wanted to talk to me and explain something to me, I would shut him down. Like I did not want to hear it. So I remember one day he was like, yo, you don't never let me talk. And then we're having a heated argument. I don't want to hear him. He's like, but you don't let me express myself. And I'm like, you want to express yourself? Go write it down. Here's DeMar. Yo, he wrote a whole page and a half. And he's like, here, read it. And I'm like, not now. I want to read it. Mom, please read it. I was like, I don't want to read anything right now.
Okay,
And
that's
this is 3-4 months ago.
Oh, wow.
And then he goes to bed, and I'm like, and then you text me, you're like, oh, it's about this. I was like, oh shit, I'm so wrong. And I'm like, I should go wake him up. I'm like, no, let him go to sleep. Now the next day, he comes in the car, and I was like, that moment, you gotta say sorry. I'm like, DeMar, this is a lesson, but I want to explain to you. First of all, I want to apologize for not listening to you last night when you wanted to express yourself. I said, lesson number one, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you because you didn't get so mad. Because DeMar, nobody ever wants to listen to him. So when he knows he's not wrong, and I don't want to listen to him, he really gets furious. So I'm like, first of all, I want to applaud you for not getting mad. Second of all, I want to applaud you for taking the time to write and express yourself. I said, because what you don't realize is even if you have a relationship with a girl and she doesn't want to hear you at that moment, you can respect the fact that she cannot hear you and you talk later. I said, third of all, I can have a conversation with you right now because both of us are not at this level. We're here. And I said, I want to apologize to you. You were right. I was wrong, and I'm sorry. So he looked at me. I was like, don't you see how this is much better, how we're able to communicate after it all? He was like, yeah, Mom. I said, did you get the lessons out of it? He was like, yeah, Mom. So little stuff like that I've been able to grow and learn. These are the stories I'll share in the room, and other parents are like, maybe I should go talk to my son about this, or maybe I should open up like that. So that's what the room has been about. Yes.
I'll tell you something. You know how sometimes you talk foolishness and I ignore you? No, I'm serious. I'm gonna be serious with you. You talk and I don't respond to you until you have something worthwhile to say. It's cool to be the fun person to be around, but it's also just as important to be serious. I don't entertain foolishness. So when you think people that don't want to listen to you or what you have to say or don't care about what you have to say, give them a reason to do so. You can't be wild and jokey and wacky all the time. It's not cool. That's why people respond the way that they do. So if you have to know how to have a balance. I'm not trying to say don't be the cool fun person, but you got to know how to balance it out. It's not always playtime. That's why people snap on you sometimes. It's not them. You have to understand that people are reacting to the energy and what you're putting out, man. It's 100. Like you sit there, yo, and I'll just keep talking. You'll come and interrupt the conversation I'm having with your mom or somebody else. I'll completely ignore you. You have to get the message that is rude. That's it.
Read the room, DeMar.
That's what I'm telling you.
Good job. These hold the whole time. I'm like, I was watching the whole time. No, the thing is, DeMar, I don't think DeMar realized how amazing he is.
Exactly.
If he did, you wouldn't clown so much. It's almost like he's trying to hide around his greatness by being a clown. And then people got to see through all the clownish and be like, yo, this kid is actually really wise. But it's so hard because he's so, all the time. So
No, I am actually very wise. Like,
You're very wise.
You gotta understand, it's not something that's gonna happen overnight. You just gotta start developing habits. It's not something, okay, I'm gonna be this way. No, you gotta start putting habits in place to make that change and add stuff to your life, man.
Because if you take what everybody's saying today and apply it tomorrow, you might be the person doing these kind of rooms at 20.
You never wrote my letter. And the same way you wrote what was on your mind, you need to write down your habits. I want to see it next week.
What happened?
I want to see your habits next week.
What happened?
Your habits to change, not to be clowning so much all the time. What habits are you going to need to implement being a little bit more serious?
Tomorrow.
And if I like it, if it's cool, I got something for you.
There you go.
There's an incentive.
So, does anybody
I vouch for DeMar, man. I think DeMar cool. Like I really do. Nah, he vouched for me. Nah, I be with DeMar really like outside of work.
Yeah.
I done been with him and his friends. Like DeMar know what he be doing. Like y'all be thinking y'all can talk, but he cool. Like I'm telling y'all, like.
What did I tell you? What were we talking about? I told you DeMar can own a business at this age right now.
Yeah.
I told us the other day, I was like, DeMar can own a business. DeMar can run shit.
Yeah.
At this age. And so I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm trying to add to who he is.
So I
got you.
Yeah. There's been time I done been talking about DeMar and said something. I'm like, what? He be like, dang, bro, like, what he say? That's why I never mind, like, even when you get in trouble, you annoying, I be like, bro, I sit by him.
Kelvin, how old are you?
21.
21. I'm 47, and there's times DeMar talking. I remember one day I was like, yo, I gotta listen to my son.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I have to listen to my son because there's some things he says. He's so wise. He's wiser than his years. It's almost like I feel God is speaking through him. Yeah, like he is that knowledgeable. Could sit down and be like, yo, mom, da 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 da. And for a while I'd be like, this little kid, oh, that's my son. And then one day I was like, yo, he has a gift in him that he doesn't even realize. I better pay attention.
But the thing is, DeMar drop that knowledge, but it'll be what somebody would have to say in like a speech or State of the Union address. He'll say it in 2 sentences, and it's impactful.
Yeah.
He'll be like, hey man, did this, such stuff.
Yeah.
Real quick. Yeah. I'm not joking, man. I'm serious. I'm serious.
Yeah.
That's why I told you what I told you, man. You gotta kind of remove some things to get out of your own way.
I feel like he's still young, so whatever.
He's so young. That's a young
age now.
But the thing is, he's young and powerful.
Yeah. Exactly. That's the thing. He's young and powerful.
That power. How much more powerful would he be at 20, 22?
I don't even be knowing. I just be catching myself. Like when I was talking to Terrell, I almost made Terrell cry. Like literally.
But DeMar, I really feel like you have my gift.
For sure. Absolutely.
No, I'm sorry. No. But I really feel like DeMar has my gift time too.
No, but that started like literally when I was 16. Like I started noticing that.
You walked into 17.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it was 2020, but 2020 was just crazy. Like everybody slowed down and started to think about stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Silver lining. 2020 was a silver lining.
Yes.